Roast you. He'll coast to coast you. Why you let that happen? He already told you what he was going to do because he's not talking trash. He's telling the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the...
What's up, YouTube? It's Tired Night. You tuned to Life. I'm about to be reacting to NBA players explain how ridiculous Larry Bird was. Let's get into the video. Let's go.
Larry Bird played 13 seasons in the NBA, 3 championships, 3 MVPs, a trash-talking reputation so ruthless that Hall of Famers still bring him up unprompted decades later. But stats and trophies only tell part of the story. The real measure of what Bird was comes from the people who actually shared a floor with him. What you're about to hear are the stories those people still tell, not because anyone asked them to relive it, but because Bird left the kind of impression that doesn't fade with time. These are the accounts of teammates who learned what it meant to compete at his level, opponents who thought they had a plan and found out they didn't, and legends who, even now, can't talk about their own careers without circling back to him. This is Larry Legend, through the eyes of the people who were actually there. Jamal Mashburn was one of the college standouts brought in to scrimmage the dream team ahead of Barcelona. Bird got the ball against Rodney Rogers and narrated every move before he made it. One dribble pull-up, going left off glass, bucket. Scoring 8 or 9 times in a row before his back forced him to lie down courtside because he couldn't even sit on the bench.
To play against the dream team.
This was the legendary game where the college guys came in and Chuck Daly let y'all tear their ass up, and as soon as y'all started getting back, he ended it, right?
So yeah, so funny. So when we got an invitation, it was 8 of us. It was myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Shout out Rodney Rogers, man. Shout out to OG.
Yeah, and Grant Hill was on that squad. So we get to La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott. We go up to our floor, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall. And I'm like, damn, that looked like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up close to Larry Bird.
Exactly.
Larry Bird, legit 6'10".
Real talk. When I first stood up against him when he was coaching the pace, I was like, damn.
So he walked by us and he says, y'all those college guys? And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, get some fucking rest. It's going to be a long week, and walked off. And we was like, what the hell?
What y'all got us into?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. You know, we like, all right, what's going on here?
I wanted to say what's up, and he just came to me like this, like, damn.
Yeah. So the next morning, we get up and we go to practice, and Roy Williams is our coach. But we only got 8.
Oh my gosh.
So we like, well, how are we practicing? And what are we practicing for? So we spent, I want to say, an hour doing the 3-man weave. And I'm like, what's going on here? Then they bus us to another location where the dream team is practicing.
What in the world?
And these about 400 people standing outside waiting for the dream team to come out. They take us up to a top floor, and the dream team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, all right, get loose and stretch out. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're going to play next. So we get out the gates, like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. we running them all out. Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton. So they stopped the game and turn off the score. I think we were up like 72, 66 or something, 64, something like that. They just stopped the game. So we like, all right, was this halftime or some shit? They like, nah, the press coming in. So I'm like, oh wow. So that's when the thing came out that Chuck Daly let us win. Because they didn't want to hold a complete game because they knew it was going to be downhill from there. Because we were trying to prove that we could represent the country. Yeah. So we lit their ass up, and then something happened. We're sitting there, and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something to, it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since 84. Magic heard that shit. And we ain't think none of it. The next day we came in, And I never seen this. And this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. Yeah. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot.
Keep in mind, Larry Bird's retired. Like, he's retired. This is the season he retired. Keep in mind. He's out of his career. This is not prime Larry Bird.
Bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row.
What in the world?
Left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench. He had to lay down because of his back. And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made it.
Yeah. Look like 84, huh?
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. I said, so that's they kicked our ass for the rest of the week.
When Charles Barkley's teammate Leon Woods was in the field against Bird, Trent Tucker, Sleepy Floyd, and Norm Nixon at the league's first ever three-point contest, Bird walked in and asked which one of them was coming in second place, and the room went dead silent.
My funniest Larry Bird story. I think it was like my second or third All-Star game. And Leon Wood was one of my teammates who was a really good shooter, just a great friend. So I went to support him in the 3-point shooting contest. Larry Bird comes in and says, everybody's, they kind of getting into it, getting excited, getting a little nerve-wracking, blah, blah, blah. Larry Bird walk in, and Tom, he says, hey, which one of you motherfuckers gonna come in second place? Nobody says anything.
The website you've got in your head, build it now with Base 44.
Rick Fox was a rookie in 1991, smiling ear to ear in the layup line before a preseason game when Bird shook him straight. Fox later watched Bird, McHale, and Parrish's final season together up close, calling it his blueprint for how the job is supposed to get done.
As a teammate,
he was intense. He was always, when I played with him that year, always trying to get himself on the court in a healthy way, but his back was...
This is when he's laying on the floor, he's in traction half the time.
And, and for me, it was kind of like, man, I heard about Larry Bird, and I watched him, and I know he was really good, but I'm not seeing the Larry Bird.
Yeah.
And then in March 17th, the Portland game.
When he comes back in the second half on a Sunday afternoon.
He went for 49, 17, and like 14 assists.
Oh, my God.
It was 49-14. It was 49-14-11.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That game was was amazing.
That was incredible. And that I'll never forget that being in that game playing, but also watching and realizing, okay, now this is what everyone, when they talk about Larry Bird being a bad mofo, that this is who this guy is. And he used to do that on the regular. He just only could get it up once in a while for the Celtics last year.
Kevin McHale never had to face Bird's trash talk in a real game, only in practice, which gave him a front row seat for years to watch Bird use it on everyone else nightly. McHale still calls this specific memory the best one he's ever heard, even after a lifetime of hearing them all.
It feels like every time we have somebody on who played against Bird, we always ask for their favorite trash talk story. You were there. You were in the theater every single night. Do you have a favorite Bird trash talk story?
Oh my gosh! Well, probably my favorite one was we were playing in Phoenix, and we were way up. We were like 15, and we have the worst fourth quarter in the history. We're terrible, and Larry's bad. Larry's missing shots, throwing it to the other team, throwing it in the third row. And they come back, and somehow, they go up 2. So we have a play, out-of-bounds play. I'm taking it out. And, Larry says, I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, we're down 2. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game. And Larry says, no, I'm just going to bust a 3 on him. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this. And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball to slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, "Told you so!" He stopped running to the locker room, and it went in, and I just started laughing. I was like, "Oh man." You know, it's just one of those ones where you just kind of, he has such supreme confidence, and it was just, but that's the one when you were back in and Larry went in and said, "Well, I won the game in the first 3 quarters, then I lost it in the third quarter, or the fourth quarter, excuse me. Then I won it at the end." He goes, "My record tonight is 2-1. We all just kind of laughed about it.
Thomas recalls a game in Hartford where Bird openly laughed at the defender assigned to guard him, Kent Benson, before hitting a buzzer beater right in front of him. This one showed how Bird would psychologically dismiss an opponent before even touching the ball.
Yeah, I remember we played y'all in Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
And Kent Benson, remember Kent Benson?
Remember Kent Benson as he got 56 scored on it against Kevin McHale. I do remember that.
So wait, we come out of the huddle, and Larry, I think we up 1, and Larry look at me and Benson come to guard him, and he looks at me and he goes, and you know he called me Cheesy. He goes, "Cheesy, and he pointed right at Benson. You putting him on me?" Of course, he made the last basket. We lose, right?
One of the most ridiculous things that Bird did.
Wow. Ooh, Larry Bird is insane, man. Oh my gosh. Like all these stories are funny. And he was just having fun out there. Honestly, I think he was just that good. He knew where his team was, and he was comfortable, and he knew what he was capable of doing, and he would tell the player before he's going to do it because he knew who he was. But the one thing that shocks me to my core is how good he played when he wasn't in his prime, how good he played when he wasn't healthy. It's like he kind of was the same Bird. Like he still had the same DNA. It never leaves you. His body was kind of failing him, but he was still, when he was up straight playing, shooting the basketball, it didn't matter. It really didn't matter. He's moving the same. He's getting the buckets the same. You can't stop him the same way. Like he could go off for 8 in a row, just like what he did to that player. And that player is not just like a regular player. He's the top prospect, and he's going to be an all-star in the league, and he's going to have a great career. And Larry Bird is out of the league after that. You would think that the guy would have the upper hand because it's the young guy that's coming in and the older guy is leaving. No, Larry Bird has the same DNA of a guy that's on the Mount Rushmore that is has killer mentality no matter what. It doesn't leave him no matter if he's on his last leg. He's going to give you the work. He's going to give you buckets if you test him. Don't test him. They shouldn't have tested him. They shouldn't have said anything. But that's a learning process. That's competitive basketball, and that's a good story to tell later on. But it's like Larry Bird, he like shocks me. He shocks me because like the stuff he was doing, even like later on in his career when he played against Indiana and he got that win over them, even when he bashed his head on the floor, and he's like, it's like that's a year before he retired. So he's literally almost out of his career because his back, he's still going out there and putting in work. In excruciating pain and all, putting in the work, giving you buckets. You know what I'm saying? Telling you what he's going to do before he's going to do it. Like the pain in his back is not getting to him. He's not phased. He's focused. He's focused on giving you buckets. He's focused on getting to the spot and embarrassing you and hitting shots on you over and over and over and over again. Pure domination. He's focused on teaching you a lesson. Like, don't mess with Larry Bird. This is my name. You're not going to play on my name. I'm going to execute and create every single time. I'm always going to be the closer. Like, I'm going to be the finisher. You're going to start it with me. I'm going to finish it. Type of thing. So that's Larry Bird. That's Larry Bird for you, man. Crazy though. At any point of his career, he could do that. You could say that from his rookie season to his last season. I don't know anybody else like that, other than a couple of players. Like the Mount Rushmores for me. You know what I'm saying? You guys know my 4. I'm not gonna really say it, but you guys know my 4 because you guys like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in any order. I'm gonna say Kobe, not in any order. I'm gonna say Jordan, not in any order, and I'm gonna say LeBron, and I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm gonna say Larry Bird. LeBron doesn't really have the killer mentality, but I could say he was very good at the start, and he's very good at the end of his career. If we could agree with that, if we're gonna talk about killer mentality, all right, we have there's nothing to talk about there. His killer mentality is not always there. It's iffy, right? Larry Bird there's no on or off button. It's one mentality and done with. He's not going to defer to nobody. It's him. He's him. But if LeBron is tested, he could go off. He can go off from the start to the finish. If Larry Bird is tested, he can go off from the start to the finish. If if you test Kobe, he's going off, and you can do that, but maybe not his rookie season. Maybe not his rookie season. That's the only person that he had to grow in his position. I think from his sophomore season, he probably could do that. His rookie season, I'm not sure if he was there yet, but maybe if you test him, maybe he would be there yet. From Jordan, his rookie season to his last year, yeah, you could if you test him, he'll give you buckets. Even on his last year on the Wizards, he went 20 points in a row on somebody. You know what I'm saying? This is my Mount Rushmore. Players going off. Kobe had 60 points in his last game. You know what I'm saying? Finishes off his career, don't test him because he can go off. That DNA does not leave you, and that's my point. Larry Bird, the DNA of him does not leave him from the start to the finish. He was always like that. From high school all the way till now. He was the same individual, and he was just him from that point on. He was just him. From when he touched the basketball, he was him. He had it in him, and it never left him.
Though, wasn't taunting the other players or the fans of the other teams, but the coaches as well. It would probably be seen as disrespectful nowadays, and definitely was back then, but this was Larry Bird that was talking.
My favorite trash talking by Larry, and Kevin was a pretty good trash talker too, but Larry was when they trash talk coaches, like when they trash talk Hubie Brown, and they're sitting there and playing in Madison Square Garden, and he's just going taking the ball out of bounds in front of their bench, so the whole bench can hear him,
right?
And go Hubie, this all you got for me tonight? You got no one else that can guard me. This is getting ridiculous, and then Hubie would put in Johnny Newman would be running in the game. He goes, wait, are you serious? That's the guy you're putting on me? We loved it. But even the other bench, even Hubie's team in New York is laughing at Bird's trash talking.
In the 1980s, Magic Johnson ran the most exclusive pickup basketball games in the country out of UCLA. Magic set the tone, the rules were set, and it was one of those moments you could only dream of in the movies without cameras, press, or pride. But then Larry Bird walked in, and the entire vibe of the court changed.
Man, the Lakers always stayed on the winning court.
No matter what.
Max.
No matter what.
He could go to a hole and be wide open and miss a layup. You're like,
he calling fouls for his teammates. He calling for his teammates. If like you said, if Max would have missed the shot, he was on. No, that's a foul. Bring that back, young fella. Bring that back.
And the only time this didn't happen, it was one magical
Larry Bird.
I don't know how this happened. I do actually know how it happened. It was the first year of Magic's Midsummer's Nights game, the very first year. And it was in Pauley Pavilion before it moved to the Forum. And he had everyone because it was the first year. And Larry came out. And before that game actually happened, so Larry was out maybe 2 days ahead of time for these pickup runs. And Larry walks in. Right? So you have the Lakers, you have the selection of pro players, UCLA A and B team. So of course Larry says, all right, I want to be on that, selection of pro teams. And everyone's like, oh my God, Larry, Magic. And they didn't like,
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw Buck okay. There ain't gonna be none of this bullshit you're calling on today.
Right, yeah.
Because Larry was like,
Larry wasn't having it.
Larry wasn't having it.
Mm-hmm.
Larry was not having it. And it was like, there's no footage. No one knows.
Had to be there.
Oh my God. Some of the passes and then Coop Coop and Larry really didn't like one another. I mean, really didn't like one another. No, I got him. Coop, I got him. I want him. I'm like, oh,
damn.
This is what I was learning.
Right.
This is crazy. This is all going into the DNA. This is what.
Shawn Kemp was one of those young rooks who came in thinking that he had the game figured out, that he could hang with Larry and the rest of the league. But then he had to put his money where his mouth was, and it didn't go so well the first time.
X-Man told a story on Tim Thomas' School Beats podcast about Larry Bird talking shit to you, saying, I'm the best motherfucker in Indiana, put a 3 into my balls. That's true?
It is very true, man. Larry, hey, man, first of all, we got to Boston that night. He had some knee pain. I was like, it's a hell of a time for you to come up with a knee pain. I ain't going tonight. You got it. Yeah, you don't want to see that. Yeah, then I look at the boy, Shawn Kemp, Larry Bird. I'm like, so I look in the mirror. I'm like, well, shit, man, I'm about to get this motherfucker fits out here tonight. So before the game, I was over there rubbing my hands, looking at him like, I'm about to get your ass, man.
What year was this for you?
This was my first year.
Oh, okay.
And that day, that morning they came out with a USA Today article, and they said that Larry didn't have it no more. So he came out that night to make a statement, and I was just the prime candidate to be. Yeah. Before the game, he told me, he was like, he just shook his head at me. He said, man, it's going to be a fucked up night for you.
So what did he put up?
I think he gave me 46 and 3.
What'd you do?
Man, I hadn't found out, but I was on his ass. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I was on. He was actually calling out bank shots. He would say, next time, bank shot left side. I'm gonna pump fake you. Your dumb ass gonna go for it.
Bird's own explanation for why he consistently stepped up in the biggest moments.
Yo, that's never old. Have you ever played basketball and someone told you what they're gonna do and does it to you? When you're the guy doing it, you feel so good about yourself. The other guy guarding you, you feel like crap. Like just playing basketball in general. If I did that to somebody, they always feel like crap. If someone did that to me, I would feel like crap. Like that's not even a game to play with. Like you don't tell somebody what you're gonna do and then do it. And the fact that Larry Bird does it consistently, like it's just a thing for him. It's like not even just like one player, multiple. And keep in mind, this is the best league in the world. You know what I'm saying? Best players in the world, best defenders in the world. And you're telling somebody what you're gonna do and then doing it? Like you're playing around with them, like they're just like you're on a schoolyard or LA Fitness or something. Like you could just do that. You could just do that. You have that much control over the game. You're that good as a basketball player. How? Like I can't fathom that because like if someone is that good on defense, I can never tell somebody what I'm going to do. I have to know for sure that they're not that good of a defender. Larry Bird is doing this to best defenders in the world. Oh my gosh. If you play basketball, you know how disrespectful that is, and you know how good you have to be to do that and execute. Oh my gosh.
Rare piece of insight into his mental approach that goes beyond just the trash talk and gets into what he actually believed made him different was this. And he said it well. Going into those games, you never knew what was going to happen. But I always had enough confidence in my game, and I put the time and the hard work. I never really felt the pressure. The only thing I was always worried about was how I was going to perform, because I wanted to perform at a high level for myself. What stands out across every one of these accounts is how little any of these men needed to bring Bird up. They have their own championships, their own highlight reels, their own place in basketball history. And yet the conversation keeps finding its way back to him, unprompted, with the same disbelief they had the first time it happened. That's what separates Larry Bird from most of the players who came before or after him. It's not just what he did on the court. It's the fact that the people who competed against him at the highest level still can't stop talking about what it felt like to be there. Decades later, that hasn't changed. And based on how these stories keep surfacing, it probably never will. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the episode if you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.
Yo, that's like 4 decades. Yeah, that was a great video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I see these stories over and over again, and like they say it in different ways, but the stories about him trash talking, telling people what he's gonna do before he does it, the way what he's doing to people when he was out of about to be out of the league. On the Dream Team, he's basically out of the league. He retired that season, and Magic got him to play for the Dream Team, and he never came back to the NBA again. So he was retired, and he did that to a guy that was going into the league and about to have a great career. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think a guy that's out of the league and someone that's coming into the league or maybe was in the league already and is a promising prospect is you wouldn't think Larry Bird would be able to do that to him because he's young and he can move. But Larry Bird, it just in him, his DNA, man. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. No matter what situation you're in, these guys will always be that. They will always be who they are. The greatness never leaves them. If it's Michael Jordan, at the end of his career, his last year, and he's gonna find motivation and get it done. He might not do it consistently, but if you give him a reason and you give him that spark, he's gonna score 20 points in a row on you. I don't understand how he does that at that age. LeBron, longevity, he could still do that. He's still putting up points. If you guys don't like him, you can. There's no argument when it comes to his longevity at his age. He could still do it. He's on my Mount Rushmore. That's just my personal opinion. Kobe Bryant he still put the ball in the basket the way he did in his last year, and he averaged a good amount of points, like almost 20, and then in his last game, he had 60 points. So you test him, he can give you buckets too. He can still put the ball in the basket. Maybe not as efficient as he was before when he's younger, but he's still gonna have 60 points on you. It's still an old guy dropping 60 points on you. He went off in the last 6 minutes. Like, wait, ballistic. You know what I'm saying? Ballistic. If you watch that game. So yeah, that's just what it is. Like, when you have that championship DNA, you have that that killer mentality, you have your skill set is just that much better than everybody else. No matter what age you're at in the NBA, you're going to be able to execute if someone tests you, because it's like that beast is just, you're waking up that beast. You're waking up that beast. At that point, they're so locked in, whatever they're going through, father time, all that, father time never fails, but it doesn't matter at that moment because they're so locked in, their body is not even going to process that it hurts at that moment. Their body is trying to lock in and get the job done. It's like, I got to cook this guy real quick. And he's going to do it. Larry Bird did it, and it never fails to amaze me, no matter how many videos I watch. But yeah, that was a great video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm about to head out. I'm going to say a prayer. In the name of Jesus, I pray whoever's watching this video, bless them from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. Allow them to be strong in their mind, body, and soul. Allow them to get their priorities in check. If they're not following the things they need to follow, allow them to follow God, but also through that, be there for their family members, be there for their people, because life is too short. You never know when someone's going to leave you. You never know. So I pray that everybody will have a peaceful mindset, be in tranquility with themselves and with their relationship with other family members and just friends, the people they love, and try to hear people out and not have any resentment. Life is too short to not forgive people. We have to forgive them and move on. Don't forget, but forgive. No matter how wrong someone does you, you got to forgive them. That's just what God wants for you, and it is what it is. It's not about you. It's about God. It's about God's creation, because that's who they are. And that person that was in your life is in your life for a reason, and you're gonna feel guilty if you don't have that conversation and be around them the way you want to if they're gone. So to get away from that feeling of feeling guilty and you want to go back and see that person again, you got to call them, you got to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? That small voice in your head that's telling you, talk to that person, call that person. Eliminate all pride in the name of Jesus. I pray they eliminate all pride when it comes to that. And they listen to that voice because God is telling them to do that, because it's important to build a relationship and mend the relationship. And so you don't have to think about it later on and say, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I did this. I pray everybody talks to their loved ones, resolves things, and moves on, and everybody will be at peace and positivity and have God in their life. So to help them with that, and just within, they have to heal themselves of all that scarring that they had throughout their lives. And once they're fully healed from forgiving people, and they dump all that baggage or whatever, anxiety, anger, they put that all on God. They cast that all on God, and their shoulders are just, the weight just falls off. If they could just relax and be in tranquility and peace, everything will work out, and everybody around you will be happy, and you will give them a better chance of following God and not push them away. So in the name of Jesus, I pray, bless everybody to do that and to try to be in peace with everybody around them, even their loved ones. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So stay blessed, stay lit, and I'm out.